What's good, everybody? It's your boy SBX, and pretty much I'm doing a game review based on Crash and Sane Trilogy. Now, the reason why I'm doing this review is because this is a game that, maybe you've been playing since you was a kid, but definitely for me, when I played this shit when I was a kid, back in elementary school days, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third, fourth, fifth grade, all that shit, so pretty much, I want to go on to this nostalgia train because, like I said, I grew up playing Crash Bandicoot when I was a kid. I like to play with the Crash Bandicoot 2 and the War. I used to own Crash Team Racing and Crash Bash. Those were the good old days of the Crash days when Naughty Dog used to have ownership of Crash Bandicoot. So, first and foremost, I have to say that, despite the fact that this is the remake of the 1990s version of the Crash Bandicoot series between 1, 2, and 3, I will say that, this game has some great graphics, like at 1080 pixels. It's so cool, and Crash looks so realistic, damn, I know he's a Bandicoot, but damn, it's so realistic. Like, I love the color. His fur looks so real, and same for Coco's and the other characters. So basically, this game is like the remake of the first 3 generations of the Crash Bandicoot series. So basically, the first, the second, the Wrath of Cortex, and the Warp. Now, this game, compared to you play since the 90s versus now, there's so much different from how we used to play. Like I said, the graphics is different, the acting of certain characters sounds different. As far as the levels go, it's a lot harder than it was on the PlayStation 1 series of the game. Now, I feel like Crash Bandicoot Warp was my game because I've always played that game all the time when I was younger. Like, that game, you just know off the head, off the dome, what you're doing, But I also own the Crash Bandicoot Warp that is downloaded onto my PlayStation 3, and I beat that game less than 2 days, And this game, the newer remastered version of the Crash Bandicoot Warp, is they changed some shit on there. Like I said, the graphics look different, certain levels, the enemies have a different approach, the boss battles, you get what I'm saying? Same thing applies to the other 2 Crash Bandicoot games, and it got ridiculously harder now, in my opinion, because they want to make it more realistic and they want to make it more challenging for the people, for the Crash fans out there, And honestly, I'm not even done playing the first one, but I am done with 2 and Warp, And 2 was fucking difficult than a motherfucker. I mean, that's just my opinion, because I had a hard time with certain levels and shit like that. And I mean, Crash Bandicoot's all about facing challenges, And also that big bonus round on the question mark, that's a challenge too. And the more you hit them boxes and you get all the Wampa fruits, the more you get, the chances are you gain another life. So pretty much on the first 2, 3 games, the story is about Crash Bandicoot, of course, and he's pretty much your silent mute type of Bandicoot marsupial. And basically on the first game, Crash, however, have a girlfriend gotta save against Dr. Cortex, Crash Bandicoot's sworn enemy. Pretty much all the games you gotta fight Cortex, pretty much, because Cortex is a real shady motherfucker. And pretty much you gotta go over those, pretty much collect the crystals to, for what depends on what is the purpose of the game. The second one is based on trying to help Cortex. Pretty much he played you like a PlayStation, basically, and you gotta get all the crystals for his selfish reasons. And Coco kind of warned him that Cortex is up to no good as usual. So, that's the whole concept of the game. And then the third one is when Cortex come back and with Uka Uka and Uka Puka. I'm not sure if I said it right because I always fuck up their names. But the point is, it's a game between good and evil, and Crash represents the good and Cortex represents the bad. And you gotta go in time to fix the time right. Not really fix the time right, but of course collect the crystals and stuff like that. And pretty much look for Cortex and beat his ass as usual. Now, the boss battles are depending on how good and how difficult and easy it is. Now, on the first game, you play Papu Papu. And that game is kind of his boss battle is so simple, and all you gotta do is just jump on his motherfucker's head, and he'll go down, and make sure you don't get hit by that big old stick thing he carrying. And as far as the other levels, I haven't finished completely with the Crash Bandicoot 1 series, but as far as 2 and Warp goes, I feel like Warp, like I said, I know Warp like it's like a no-brainer. And the first level when you face against Tiny, it's really simple, but the hardest level I have to say is basically fighting against Engine and you shooting his robots. I feel like any mission with Engine is kind of hard because his robots and his machines are indestructible, and the more you keep shooting at it, the more it'll take a long time to finish the level. And my opinion, his boss battle is very time consuming. You just want to get it done for less than 2 minutes off the tops, basically. But all I can say is, that this game deserves at least an 8.5 out of 10, because it's the same shit that you play since the older generations of the PlayStation, like the 1 and all that. But I was hoping that Crash Bandicoot came back and with a different series, like a different story, like what's going on with Crash Bandicoot today, what's the story, what's he going against. But I feel like certain new Crash Bandicoot games, in my opinion, look like trash because they keep changing Crash's look, and he looks all thuggish and shit. Or if not that, I just don't think he don't look right with a mohawk and tattoos. I guess they try to make him look more mature, but it's just not the same, And I haven't played a Crash Bandicoot game ever since the one since the PlayStation 2 days. I feel like, in my opinion, I stick with the last 3 Crash Bandicoot games, including Team Racing, Crash Team Racing, and Crash Bash, which that was the last game that I bought from the PlayStation 1 saga, was that. But I barely played when I was a kid. But it's like, in today's games, when it comes to Crash Bandicoot, since Naughty Dog gave them away for Jack and Dexter, Ratchet and Clank, and Uncharted, I feel like Crash Bandicoot is like was the face of PlayStation back in the 90s, But what can I say about the cons? I feel like this game could be very challenging, but that shouldn't be a really good reason why you should complain about this game. Because, you know, if you're a true gamer, you're supposed to take challenges no matter how difficult it is. But I would say that it's really hard, in my opinion. But, you know, you expect some more out of this game as far as, like, a new sequence of the story. But like I said, I really haven't finished the game because there's sometimes I'm too busy doing other things with my life, and I don't really have too much time playing it, and also I'm too busy playing some other games, so that kind of leads in the way for me to give you my true opinion. But at the same time, I play this shit since I was a kid, so I should automatically give you my full 2 cents about how I feel about this game. You know, it's the same shit, but the whole point is, it's like, it's just different graphics, you know, and you expect that the makers of Crash Bandicoot could have made another story, but just like any other classic nostalgic video game, they gotta remaster this shit first before they think about another game, especially if it's a new system. Be like, damn, what does it be like if it's a new Mario game or Zelda game, which they already done these remasters of, so might as well see how it looks like in the new generation of gaming, which I'm not knocking that, but you know, like I said, I was hoping there would be a new story into the game, just like if you're playing a game and they'll add in some other games, like between like Metal Gear Solid games, like the full trilogy, and God of War, you know, things that I saw, like a 4 game in one, but all you get is 3 games. You know, I was hoping that you have like 1, 2, 3, and a new Crash Bandicoot game on the side that is a new sequel of the game. Like, that's what I was expecting. So I can say that's the only cons about this game, is I expect a new series, a new dialogue of a Crash Bandicoot game that will take place in modern generation. But the pros is, in my opinion, is like the graphics is amazing at 1080, 440, 1440, or whatever highest HD quality you have, but it's amazing in HD. Of course, any game and a PlayStation 4 or Pro or whatever, it's amazing. And Crash looks so much better than ever at this graphics, or on this graphic look, without using that, you know, new bullshit. It's like they put it back in the old look of Crash, but most likely into a HD qualities perspective, and that's the best that the makers have ever done. Which that was a brilliant idea. At least they didn't fuck that up, you know. And I'm glad, because there's some people who are willing to fuck games up, and no matter how legendary a game is, and if they change it too much, it will, you know, overkill the game, you know. So I can't complain about this game, obviously, but I know, like I said, this game gets fucking hard as shit once you go into certain levels. And, you know, I feel like the more I play this in the game and I get myself killed, I lose my life. So, you're just like in the real world, your life is valuable. So, you gotta save your lives, as many as possible. At least, if this guy have many lives to save him, only he have is 1. So, even if you have that 1 life, you try not to fuck it up, you know. But between all the, like I said, all the Dragon Ball Z, but all the Crash Bandicoot games, I feel like 1 and 2 were the hardest, because of the fact that they have some ridiculous ass levels that it takes a lot of time to do, and once game over, it's like you gotta redo that shit all over again. So luckily you have Uka Puka, whatever his name is, the floating mask motherfucker. He come help you, and the coolest thing is, if you see his face in the boxes, and if you get it the 3rd time, you get to become his mask and put it on your face, and you're unstoppable. Nothing cannot touch you. No bad guys, no TNTs can hit you, no nitro can hit you. You gotta watch out for them shits. You know, you just walk past motherfuckers like they ain't shit, like this is football or some shit. So I kind of like that, you know. I mean, it's been like that since the last 3 generations of Crash Bandicoot games, so that's nothing new. So, you know, I always thought that was always helpful in any circumstances of playing this game. So also too, it's like what is different. I don't know if it's just me, but like I said, I played this game a lot, but I like the fact that you get to play as Coco, you know, on the Crash Bandicoot Warp series, because usually you only play Coco at like when you riding the tiger and riding that jet ski and fighting against Engine. At least she's part as a real protagonist in the game, you know. And besides being Crash as the face of the game, you know, at least that's his name, and his name is on the game. But Coco is pretty much playable in the Warp series, you know. And it really all depends on the levels that is necessary for both Crash and Coco. So I mean, like I said, honestly, that shit is off the chain. And lastly too, it's like I said Warp is the best Crash Bandicoot series is because you know, it's a little bit more simpler to play. As I said, I played this game a lot growing up as a kid, so like I said, I know what the hell I'm doing. You once you defeat a boss, you gain powers like, you know, for example, you doing ultimate body slams and you jumping higher, you doing a tornado spin faster and longer. You get to run flash and you get to use the fruit bazooka. And, you know, things that I saw. Like this game, when you use power, it's more easier to beat a level this way. And it will not slow you down. It will not complicate you worth a damn. You know? But unless there's some other missions that you may not need those things, you know. But it's like I said, this game can be very challenging. So rather if you're racing on the motorcycle, or rather you're getting chased by a big ass dinosaur or a big polar bear or a boulder or whatever, a big ass bull trying to chase after you, those are the only things that will get to you. Or riding or being a pilot, shooting these other pilots and shit to destroy Cortex's blimp. I mean, those levels were fun too, but you gotta watch out for your ass, basically. Make sure you don't blow yourself up, or your helicopter or jet plane won't be damaged and burnt, and you have to jump out of the fucking helicopter, use the fucking the parachute. So pretty much that's all I can elaborate though, folks. This game is good. This game is awesome. I reconsider you guys buying it and live up to your old nostalgic ways. So anyways, folks, I'm done here. Comment, like, and subscribe. SBX, wrapping this shit up. Thanks for watching. Peace out.